Welcome back, guys. We got a new product to try out today. So we got sent some new traction boards from Bunker Industries, and we are going to kind of compare them to some of like the really budget options that you find on Amazon. These have a bunch of really cool features from what I can tell, and I'm hoping that they'll be a lot better and get me out of some sticky situations a little bit easier with some of these features. So let's unbox these things. I'll show you around some of the features. We'll check them out. And then I'm going to install them on the truck. We'll head up into the mountains for a minute and do some different tests on them to see how they compare to the cheaper Amazon ones. All right, let's check these things out. So they come in a carrying case, which I won't need because they're just going to be strapped up on top of my rooftop tent, where these ones are right now. But if you aren't gonna attach these to your vehicle, having a bag would be pretty sweet. It kind of seems like it's pretty waterproof too. So that'd be nice, because when they're not strapped down or attached to a vehicle, there's no way to keep the two boards together, besides like having to use ratchet straps and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool if you aren't gonna attach it to your vehicle. So I went with the red ones. They make these in orange, black, and red. So I have orange ones up there right now, and I love orange. But some of like my tow hooks and some of the accessories on my truck are red. So I thought I would do red just to switch it up and match the color scheme of the truck just a little bit. So I'll show you what they come with here. But these are pretty cool. I haven't seen this before. So you can see right now, make sure that'll focus. You can see how that has kind of some threads right here. And so there's no teeth installed right now. And they come with, they give you black and red. So the reason they do that is so that you can replace them. So they don't, if they get torn off and stuff like that, you actually have a way to replace them and keep them fresh so that they bite a little bit harder. It also comes with some nylon leashes. So it comes with 2 of those. And then you just get some tools for it. So this is how you put in the replaceable teeth. And then this Allen wrench is for the already installed steel plates right here. And this is what really intrigued me by these. This was like the main reason that I wanted to try these out. So I'll come in a little closer and show you here. But this is a metal plate that's attached to this with like super aggressive teeth right here, as well as some teeth that kind of hook on the bottom here. I'm not sure if you're able to see that super well, but these kind of curve in right here. So what that's gonna do, the ones here are gonna make it so that this being on the ground should hopefully grip and not slide on the ground. And then this is gonna really grab your tire and help you actually be able to get up onto the board. I think I'm gonna do the black teeth so that there's a little bit of contrast on the boards and just for looks. So I'm gonna install these and then I'll compare them to my old ones and visually show you the differences. I got all the teeth in. I think they look pretty good. I'm gonna pull down my orange ones from up here and then I'll compare the two and show you the differences. Here they are side by side. My orange ones, let me give you a closer look at these. They're just pretty basic. They've kind of gotten the job done a few times, and I don't know how well you'll be able to tell. From what I'm looking at on the screen, these look super orange in the camera, but these are not orange anymore. They are like ultra faded from being in the sun. I have used these multiple times, and you can kind of see, but the teeth on these are like super worn down and they're just not aggressive. That's why I'm really excited to try these, and with it being the middle of summer, I'm not sure that they'll matter as much, but like especially in the winter when everything's just frozen and icy, that's where I think these will come in handy a ton, because I think my tires will finally grip up these and actually get you up onto the traction board. So let's get these mounted up onto the truck, and then I will show you how I'm gonna mount these ones. I think it might require a little bit of modification, and I'll show you real quick how I mounted my old ones kind of on a budget system without having to buy a really expensive mounting system. So here's the top of my tent. I have an Apache case mounted over there. And then this Armadillo 23-0 tent comes with these rails pre-installed. And so then I just bought some aluminum extrusions that were the correct size, and I just bolted them down to this, and then that's kind of how I've used this space to be able to mount stuff up here. What I did was I just went and got these bolts. You can just get them at a hardware store. So super simple. You just get the right size for whatever aluminum extrusion you have, and then the right length for depending on how tall your traction boards are. And then they just kind of slide right in there. And then once you put the traction boards on, I also got these at a local hardware store. So these are just knobs with the correct thread pitch inside of there. So rather than having, which makes no sense to have to get out a wrench to take off your traction boards. So instead, these just kind of spin right on the top and kind of just hold those traction boards down, which is a much more budget-friendly way of doing these rather than buying like a really expensive mounting kit. So in order to mount these new ones, I think I'm gonna have to drill a second set of holes, which is totally fine. When I put this whole system up, I obviously had to drill holes in the Apache case, and then I lined up these crossbars for the old MaxTrax. So these crossbars, if I loosen these up, can move, but I can't move them with that Apache case there. And I've already drilled holes in there, and I need it to stay watertight. And so I'd rather drill new holes in these, leave the crossbars the same, and then that way the Apache case can just stay there as well. So I did some measuring on the crossbars, and it should be pretty easy. I'm just gonna drill 4 new holes that will just fit these bolts through it. That way it just makes this whole process simple, and they'll mount right up. Okay, I've got 4 new holes, just so they fit better on the crossbars. They don't look bad at all, so those should mount right up now. I'll do the other one, and then I'll bolt them on up there. So these knobs make it super slick. You just tighten those down till they're snug, and then it goes on like that. I might drill out those holes a little bit bigger later, just so that it's a little bit easier to get those on and line them up, but for now that'll work just fine. It is so hot out here. I am sweating so bad. Those look way better than my other ones. They one thing I didn't realize until they were mounted up here is that they sit together way better. So the two of them sit way more flush, which you would kind of expect, but these ones from Amazon just don't really do that. They are just really bulky. So if I try and set these on top of each other, they just don't really click in. I mean, they do a little bit, but you can see that they just don't sit very flush. So I like that these ones are like way more flush. They look a lot like the MaxTrax ones in that aspect. So even though I'm sweating and it's really hot, let's go test these out and compare the two kind of in some real world tests and see what we think. So while I'm driving to the canyon, I'll tell you a little bit about how the price compares to other ones. On their website, they're listed at $250, but they're on sale for $200, and I think that's pretty regular that they're on sale for $200. Anything on Amazon is anywhere, like as far as the cheap budget options on Amazon, you're anywhere from $50 to $150. For the name brand MaxTrax, you pay like $350-ish. For their highest end extreme ones, and they don't have the steel plates and some of the other things that I like about these ones, but so you're kind of in the mid-range. You're not like ultra budget like some of the Amazon ones that work okay, and then you're not name brand really expensive. You're kind of in the middle on price point, and you get some really high-end features is kind of what I've seen so far. I'm gonna take off these traction boards off the top, and then we're gonna try and find somewhere where we can do a test to see if we can get the wheels to actually spin in two-wheel drive. So I'm gonna either look, there's plenty around here, but I'm either gonna put the truck on a really steep slope, and I'll be in two-wheel drive no matter what, but I'll put us on a steep slope and put the traction boards on the back and see if they grip any different, like see if we can get the wheels to spin, and see if, each traction board somehow provides some more traction on something steep, and then we'll flex them out as well. But need to try and find somewhere where the truck will actually slip on dirt so that it actually is a good test for these boards. I think I found a pretty good spot. I'm able to kind of just burn the back wheels from where I'm at right now. So let me kind of show you where I'm at. So first I'll set up the tripod and show you kind of how it's working and what's happening with no max tracks anywhere. So from where I'm at right here, you just saw I'm able to just kind of burn the tires. I don't have the diff lock on, so it is kind of like switching from left to right side. I think I'm gonna keep it that way for now with no diff lock. It's mostly spinning on this right side. I'm gonna put the orange max tracks, I keep saying max tracks the brand, but really traction boards. I'm gonna put my Amazon budget ones underneath, and let's just see what happens. They did not pull up onto those. It just grinded these down even more than before. And you can see literally the tread of my tire right there. Just kind of burned onto that and it never really got all the way up onto it. Let's try the other ones. Let's try the Bunker Industries ones, see if it makes a difference. They actually worked. That little bit of extra traction on those metal bits made all the difference. So that was full two-wheel drive. In complete fairness, I did have to try the Bunker Industries ones twice. The first video, which you saw, it just took on that right wheel, it spit it out. It didn't get a good enough grip on the ground, but the tire gripped it good. And then once I tried it a second time, it got a better grip on the ground and it climbed right up it no problem. So, but just figured that was worth mentioning, that I did have to do it twice. But from what I can honestly tell, it seems like it grips way better. I had zero traction from tire to traction board on those orange Amazon ones, and I had super aggressive bite on the Bunker Industries ones. Let's try a stress test on these. I'm gonna set them up on a hill and kind of put my front wheel on them and do each one at a time, and let's see and make sure they can flex without breaking. So this is the Amazon ones first. So the Amazon ones did okay. They're not broken or anything. It is slightly warped now. But it flexed just fine. Here goes the Bunker Industries ones. From what I just saw out of my truck window, that looked pretty good. That was a super aggressive bend at the top, actually, by the time it hit the top of the rock. And it looks fine to me. The only thing I see is just the tiniest little bit of stretch in it right here. And that's where it like literally bent it to almost a 90 degrees on that rock. So, but that's all I see, and it's perfectly straight and is doing good. I think for the stress test, I would pass them both for sure. Those both worked just fine. So I'm not sure that it's necessarily, if you're just doing it for the stress test and for being able to bend, it doesn't necessarily give you anything extra there. So they both work just fine as far as that goes. I almost completely forgot, but there is one more feature that comes on these traction boards that I want to try to see if it's going to work for me. So on the bottom of these, they are compatible for a high lift jack. So they have kind of a mount on the bottom for a high lift jack. So let's take a look at that. So I don't use a high lift jack for anything, but what I do use if I had to change a spare is a bottle jack. So I got rid of the scissor jacks that come with the F-150s because I hate them. And then I just bought this bottle jack. It's a 6-ton, and they're really affordable. They're super cheap, and they just work way better, I think, than the scissor jacks that come with it. And you get some more height as well. And so this will be nice because that can just sit right there, no problem. And if I'm ever somewhere changing a flat in sand or mud or some loose dirt, or anywhere that would sink with that small square footage of this, I can just pull this out and put it underneath, and that gives me all that square footage to then put that bottle jack underneath and lift the truck. So that's something I think I will find super useful for a long time. And right now, next to my bottle jack, I keep some scrap pieces of like 2x6 lumber. That way I have some more square footage if it happens to be soft. But now I can get rid of those and just use these Max Tracks instead. So overall, I think these are gonna work great. There's a few reasons why I like them. One, I think they aesthetically look better. They look nicer and they're gonna look better on the truck. I like the red. The steel teeth on each end of the boards are probably the biggest seller for me. When we got stuck in the winter and it was icy and snowy, we just could not get any traction from traction board to wheel or to tire. And so that, if they have that aggressive teeth, and it already just proved that it can do it on dirt as well, I think that has sold me already. And then the stress test, kind of 50-50, didn't matter either way. They passed it, really is all that matters. So that's good as well. I'm really happy with these. I'll leave a link for them. So just check the description if you want to check out these on their website. Or I know the entire time that I've been mentioning the Amazon ones as my previous ones. You can actually get these Bunker ones on Amazon as well, which is great. It's easy to order from their website like I did, or you can get them on Amazon, and I'll leave links to both. It was just easier to call the other ones Amazon ones because I honestly don't even know the brand anymore, and I just know that that's where they were from. So one more thanks to Vic Off-Road for sending me these Bunker Industries traction boards to try out. Again, link below. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you made it to the end, appreciate it. Subscribe please to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. Catch you next time.